Hey guys, I'm back. The topic that I'm going to be covering today is more along the lines of your mental health. This is a highly requested topic from you guys. A lot of you on my Facebook friend list have stated that you have issues with things such as manic depression, anxiety, a whole bunch of other things. You're wondering how I manage to cope. How am I so upbeat? How am I seemingly so happy or funny all of the time? Truth is, I am not always happy at all. To be quite honest with you, I literally had like a little bit of a meltdown earlier today, just like a slight one today. As most of you that are on my Facebook page know, one of the ways that I cope is writing. I write. All of my Facebook posts, the rants that you see, that is literally one of my coping skills for dealing with manic depression. For those of you who do not know what manic depression is, or think manic depression is just being severely depressed, manic depression is basically a fancy way of saying bipolar. It is the sugar-coated way of saying bipolar. I was diagnosed as bipolar when I was a teenager. My coping skills have changed throughout the year. That is normal, but you have to realize when and if they are changing, and you have to know what your triggers are. You have to know what your coping skills are. You have to know if you're in an environment that is causing you to have an episode shift. I can recognize when I am having an episode. I can realize when I'm going from one phase to another. I can tell the difference between me having a lot more energy than normal and being a lot more upbeat versus me just wanting to sit on the couch and knowing that I have to get things done, but literally not being able to get things done. Here's the thing, you have to be your biggest advocate. You literally do. A lot of people think they know how to help someone with manic depression and they fucking don't. A lot of people will say the wrong things and they're going to think that it is helpful, and you have to speak up and let them know when it is not helpful. The reality is, people with manic depression, they already know. They already know what needs to get done. They already know when they're not doing something that needs to get done. They're depressed. It's not that someone with manic depression doesn't want to get things done. It's that sometimes they are so mentally trapped within their head and within their emotions, they literally cannot get it done. So someone might literally be having a moment where they're just getting up the strength to go ahead and get that thing done. And then here you come along and say, hey, why don't you have this done? Guess what? Not only are they already depressed about the fact that they haven't got it done, now you have added to the situation. Now you have added even more stress onto them. And now they're going to be even more depressed and even more stressed. And most likely it's going to make the situation a lot worse. You have to let people in your environment know, hey, that is not helpful. Hey, this is not healthy. Hey, I need you not to do this. If you need a break, take a break. If you don't feel like talking at the moment, you have every fucking right to say, hey, I cannot talk right now. Just in case anyone is wondering, I did not cut my hair. My hair is pulled back right now. You are going to see my hair in a lot of different, whatever the fuck it's called. Manic depression, honestly, is not an easy topic to talk about. That's because all of the different stigmas that people have put on exactly what it is that you're supposed to look like, how it is that you're supposed to act. All these different movies and these books that you read depict the picture of someone with bipolar disorder as being just batshit fucking crazy, being a psychopath, being a danger to themselves and everyone else around them, incapable of holding any kind of relationship with anyone, incapable of being productive, incapable of maintaining a regular everyday life. That is not true. The difference is you have a lot more emotions and you have a lot more difficulty dealing with them and understanding exactly what the hell it is that's going on. And it's not easy to explain to someone who doesn't have it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is not an easy video to make at all. Even though I've been dealing with it since I was a teenager, it's not something that I've just openly dealt with. It's not something that I've really talked about with a lot of people. I can literally count how many people I've had an open discussion with about the problem. Stigmas that people put on it, I think the picture that everyone has in their heads of exactly what it looks like, that does make it not only a lot harder to deal with it, but a lot harder to talk about it, a lot harder to even sometimes accept it yourself even. There's most likely going to be a lot of pauses in this video, and that's because it's it's not the easiest thing to explain. It's a lot of different emotions. It's a lot of different thoughts. Doesn't matter how long you think about it. Doesn't matter if I sit and try to write it all down, or if I sit here and tape for however fucking long. It stays that way because I don't know. It's not something that's easy. Soon as people find out that you have bipolar disorder, immediately in their head they are judging. They are thinking of all the different signs that might be there, of all the different potential dangers that you could cause. They're thinking of distancing themselves with not being obvious. When people find out that someone has bipolar disorder, they immediately change. They immediately change their behavior towards you. And they do a lot of whispering. They do a lot of, cautioning or talking to others about, oh, don't, set that person off. The truth is that in itself, it is not helpful. It is a trigger. It does not help. It can actually cause someone to go into a depressive state. It can cause someone to have a manic episode. For the most part, you already feel like you're dealing with something so different from everyone else, something that people can't really comprehend. You're already in your head thinking about, the fact that people are judging you, that they're not understanding of you. And it does not help when you are met with negativity and assumptions. I think a lot of people mean really well. I think people really mean to be helpful. And they just, because they don't know how to be helpful, they're actually a lot more damaging than anything. So I write my Facebook posts, the rants you see, that's one of my coping mechanisms. That's one of the things that I do to handle it. I used to write a lot in journals. For those of you who are on my Facebook page, I've already, went into that a little bit before. I'll go into that. That's a whole nother video. I stopped writing in journals as much as I used to when I was younger. Over the years, I've kind of, gone back and forth with writing and how much I would write as far as journaling goes. I have a journal that I've done like daily affirmations. I just like write down, things that I'm grateful for, things that I want to achieve. So, like for me, my daily affirmations will be I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for our health. I'm thankful for our home. I'm thankful for our car. Each day I will do something new to improve the quality of our lives. I am healing. I am confident. I love myself. They really change from day to day. One day my daily affirmations might be, I might like have like 20 of them, 25 of them. Some days I may only have like 10, 11. It whatever is affecting me at the moment does play a big role in my daily affirmations, because whatever stresses or whatever thoughts I may have, I do interpret them into my daily affirmations, transfer them from within me and from within my head, and I put them into that journal and I make them a daily affirmation. I know it's cliche. A lot of people say, "Oh, music helps." I'm one of those people. I'm a big music person, whether it's listening to music or writing music. I have a guitar. I'm not the world's greatest. I first got a guitar, gosh, I think it was sometime between fourth and sixth grade, because I know what house I was living in at the time that got the guitar. And I know I lived in that house from fourth to sixth grade. So between fourth and sixth grade, I got my first guitar. My aunt got it for me for Christmas. Uh, my aunt and my uncle. I do not still have that guitar. It got broke a long time ago. I eventually bought a new guitar. I don't have like the fanciest guitar. It's just an acoustic guitar. It's not an electronic. I wish I had a fucking electronic guitar. Me editing and making these videos is actually also a really good coping skill as well. I've always been a kind of creative person. I've always liked visual and performing arts. In school, I did drama and show choir. You know how some schools have like the film class where students will, go around and you'll film a whole bunch of stuff and then edit it and then play it a certain day of the week for the whole school to see. I was in that class. I really like the whole editing process. I remember when I was younger, back when Radio Disney was cool, I used to, go on there and like do the like little video edit mashups where like you could take different clips from like different music videos and stuff and like put them together and like make your own little like video and stuff. I used to fucking love that. I've always like had it in my head that, one day I was going to be like making like music videos and movies and stuff, and I'm just going to be like a one-man show. I'm going to be directing it, I'm going to be producing it, I'm going to be editing it, I'm going to be writing it, I'm going to run around, get behind the camera, and then I'm going to be acting it. I'm going to make the music for it. I'm just going to do all of it. Throughout the day, every day, I'm literally making videos in my head. Like I can be listening to a song and I'm making that song into a music video. Anytime I'm watching a movie, I dissect when there's a lack of attention to detail, or when even the tiniest of things like changes, or if something's inconsistent. And it makes it really hard to focus sometimes on, like if I'm supposed to be doing something, because I'll be trying to focus on it, but my head is somewhere else making that video. That's another topic. That's another video. I'll come back to that. I've tried walking. At one point, I was part of the 10,000 steps a day club. I have the little Google Fit app on my phone, and first of all, if you've never done 10,000 steps a day and you start, actually actively trying to do 10,000 steps every single day, let me tell you, you're not going to be constipated. It will definitely move things. It is definitely it's a pro. It is definitely a benefit of walking. I remember I was kind of down, and I was definitely in a depressive state, and I started walking, and I instantly it was like I felt accomplished. It was I felt like I had done something. I had hit a goal. It literally made me happy. I felt mentally happy. I felt healthy. It changed a lot of things for me. It changed a couple of things for me. It did help my mental state get better when I was actively trying to hit 10,000 steps a day. And then I was working out Walmart in the deli, which I didn't even have to at that point. Trust me, you're hitting 10,000 steps. You're way past that a day. I was the fryer cook because nobody else knew what the fuck they were doing. We literally weren't even supposed to have assigned positions in the deli, but I mean, not to brag or anything, but I mean, I kicked ass. I literally was pregnant at the time. I was like 7, 8, 9 months pregnant. I literally worked up until the day before I gave birth. And I was literally the only person who could get all of the food cooked up and put out on the hot case in time and keep, everything, refilled and keep it from going out for the customers and keep the, the little islands out there where you go to grab like the popcorn chicken and the rotisseries and stuff. Keep that filled. When it's time to pull food, because once it's been sitting there for a certain amount of hours, depending on what food item it is, you have to pull it out and put fresh out there. I was the one who was good at it. My manager, came to me, she said, you know what, I stay on the fryers. I don't care what anyone else is saying. You are the fryer. You stay on the fryers. You work that hot case. I digress. Walmart in itself is a whole nother topic. Working at Walmart, honey child, I have literally worked at Walmart multiple times in multiple positions. I've literally worked multiple cities at Walmart. I've actually worked multiple states at Walmart. I am literally Walmart alumni at this point. Anyways, back to the video. Back to what we're here for right now. You have to realize your triggers. That's going to be one of your biggest things. Even if it's something as simple as a friend or a family member who is toxic, you've got to cut out toxic people. Doesn't matter if you're related or not. Doesn't matter if you love them or not. They're toxic. They're going to trigger you again and again. They are going to cause you to have those shifts in episodes, those shifts in moods. Have cut people out for many different reasons. And sometimes to them it's gonna seem like a ridiculous reason. It's gonna seem like they're not gonna agree with you. They're not gonna feel like they are jeopardizing your mental health. If you feel they are toxic, if you feel for whatever reason that they can jeopardize your mental health, they gotta go. It doesn't matter if they mean to or not. It doesn't matter if they think they do or not. If you feel that they are, you have to cut them out. Period. Simple as that. You do need to be able to, identify whenever you're having a shift, what's going on around you at the time and what emotions are you having. That way you can realize, okay, these types of situations put me into a more depressed state. This environment puts me into a more depressive state. That way you can kind of, reduce your exposure to them. This will definitely have more than one part. This is definitely a topic that I'm going to hit on again and again. It is not something that can be put in just a 10-15 minute video. And it is something that is ongoing. I know it's ongoing for you guys. It's ongoing for me too, which I feel like it might be kind of time for me to do anyways. Because even some people in my personal life who are aware of it and who do know that I was diagnosed as bipolar, there's no conversation about it. It's almost as if it doesn't it doesn't exist. It's disappeared. Or oh, I don't have it anymore. You know, there's no constant, you know, checkup. There's no constant, you know, how are you doing? There's no how are you coping? There is no support system in that. Truth is, I struggle just like you guys. I think my personality and the way that I phrase things and the way that I talk, it, it it kind of makes it seem like to you guys you can't see, you know, the different layers. You can't see the shifts in my mental. You can't see the, you know, the pain that's there, all the different emotions that I go through that are there. But I assure you, they're there. Check on your funny friends. We're going through shit too. I think I've tried for a long time to, you know, deal with it or fight it by myself. I've never really felt comfortable enough or safe enough to open up about it or to talk about it because of the judgments and the stigmas that are put on it, especially, you know, having kids, because there is a huge misconception that, you know, you can't be bipolar and have kids, because if you're bipolar, there's no way that you can care, you know, safely for your kids. There's no way that, you know, you're not a danger to them, which is false. Granted, there are a lot of people who they might be a danger. Their different episodes can cause them to be a harm to themselves or others. Their states are severe enough to where that may be the case. Not everyone is the same. Bipolar isn't something that one shoe fits all. It doesn't look the same on every person. Everybody's shifts are different. Everybody's emotions are different. The way people handle it is different. It's not the same. I think if we can change the narrative and we can change the perspective of everyone and change the thinking that everyone has towards it, change the way that people see it, we have to make it a lot more safe and comfortable for people to be able to open up and talk about what they're going through, why they're going through it. So many people aren't getting as much help as they could be because they're scared about what happens when you do open up. And we've got to change that. So that's it for now on this topic, but I will be hitting on it again. I will be making more videos about it. I will be back. So if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the fucking like button. Go ahead and put in the comments things that have helped you, things that don't help you, things that you've noticed might be a trigger for you. Another thing we have to do is we're gonna have to help each other through this. We are gonna have to help each other through this. Put in the comments any questions you may have, any suggestions you may have, any topics you may want to see me discuss. If there's anything in this video that you want me to, you know, talk about more or go back on, go ahead and drop it in the comments. We need to bring more people to the topic. Go ahead and share the video. Thanks, guys. Bye.